They got Kelsey Mitchell. They signed 5 new players, and they signed someone who's going to be cut in training camp, which is all good. Signed 5 new players, and yeah, let's take a watch of this. So the Indiana Fever had a hell of an offseason. I think even the biggest hater of the Fever will say that. They had a hell of an offseason.
I'm about to show you exactly how the Indiana Fever transformed from one of the WNBA's softest teams into Clark's personal security force overnight. You're going to see the moment-by-moment breakdown of last season's worst cheap shots against Caitlin Clark, and how each new acquisition specifically addresses those vulnerabilities.
And she literally played in Game 5 of a semi-finals last year. So she's someone who was doing really, really well. It was something really, she did really well last year's playoffs. And
let's start with the most experienced postseason player in WNBA history.
Jeez, didn't know that.
Luana Bonner. No star has ever played more than her 87 playoff games, a number she'll be looking to significantly add to in 2025. Bonner is a 2-time WNBA champion and a 6-time All-Star who is 4th all-time in scoring and 9th all-time in rebounding.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why opposing teams are already changing their game plans against the Fever. We'll look at Natasha Howard's defensive dominance, Sophie Cunningham's black belt background, Brianna Turner's lockdown abilities, and why this protective wall might just make Indiana championship contenders. The Fever didn't just get better, they got tougher, meaner, and ready for revenge. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Howard is a 3-time WNBA champion and a 2-time All-Star. She's a defensive stalwart.
Who did she win her 3 championships with? So she won one. I know she won 2 with the Seattle Storm. She won in 2018 and 2020 with the Storm.
That new teammate, Natasha Howard, whose return feels so appropriate given she was drafted 5th overall by Kelly Krauskopf and the Indiana Fever.
Storm. Who did she win with before that? So she won in 2017. Who won in 2017? The Lynx. Oh, she played for the Lynx. That was Maya Moore's last season, wasn't it?
Remember when teams thought it was open season on Caitlin Clark? Well, that era is officially over. The Indiana Fever finally said enough is enough and assembled what might be the most intimidating protection squad in WNBA history. This isn't just some minor roster adjustment. It's a complete defensive overhaul with one clear message: mess with our star and you'll regret it. Let's start with Natasha Howard, who isn't just joining the Fever. She's bringing her 3 championship rings and a Defensive Player of the Year trophy with her. Howard's defensive resume speaks for itself. For 7 straight seasons, she's averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game. That's consistency you can't teach. But what makes Howard special isn't just what shows up in the stat sheet. It's the fear factor she brings to the court. When Howard steps into the paint, opposing players suddenly become a lot less interested in driving to the basket. You know what's even better? Howard isn't just a defensive specialist.
I think they're probably going to be the real players that are going to compete for that 6th Woman of the Year. Unless, of course, Walker Kimbrough hoops for Atlanta, which could work as well. Which I can see potentially her being the best bench player in the WNBA. For me, if Maureen Johannes comes back, the best bench player for me is probably going to be between Maureen Johannes, Sophie Cunningham, and Elizabeth Williams for Chicago.
Last season, she put up 17.6 points, grabbed nearly 7 rebounds, and dished out almost 3 assists per game. That two-way impact means teams can't just focus on stopping Clark. They've got Howard to worry about too. Howard herself seems ready for this new chapter, saying, "I'm excited to return to Indiana and bring my experience and toughness to the team. I want to help Caitlin and the Fever compete at the highest level." And if that wasn't clear enough, she added, "You haven't even seen feisty yet. That sound you hear? That's opponents getting nervous." Then there's Sophie Cunningham, and get this, she literally has a black belt in Taekwondo. You think she's intimidated by anything that happens on a basketball court? Cunningham brings that martial arts discipline and toughness every single night. She's not just muscle though, she shot nearly 38% from 3-point range last season, which means teams that double team Clark will pay the price. What I love most about Cunningham is her attitude. In her own words, I'm a little bit sassy sometimes, you know, which people don't like, but I love my teammates always love. That's exactly the kind of player you want standing up for your star, she continued. I think that I'll bring a lot to this team, but at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure our egos are put aside and that we're all in here to win. That's the mentality that transforms good teams into great ones. If Howard and Cunningham weren't enough, the Fever also added Brianna Turner, a two-time all-defensive first team selection. Turner's defensive instincts are elite. She finished second in the league in blocks back in 2020, and at 6 feet 3 inches with incredible athleticism, she turns the paint into a no-fly zone. Turner describes herself perfectly. I think I'm really like a calming presence. I feel like I never get too high or get too low. I am really competitive as well. I like to run the floor, like to play defense, like to win. And that combination of competitiveness with composure is exactly what the Fever need in high-pressure situations. When opponents try to rattle Clark with physical play, Turner will be there, steady and immovable, ready to shut down anyone who tries to cross the line. Rounding out this defensive masterclass is Dana Bonner, bringing veteran leadership and basketball IQ to the roster. Bonner's ability to read the floor and disrupt passing lanes will be crucial in helping Clark navigate the physical challenges of the WNBA. She's not just there for protection, she's there to make Clark better, saying, hopefully I can make her job a little easier, and she can make mine a little easier. It's that symbiotic relationship that turns good duos into great ones. What the Fever have created here isn't just a collection of talented players, it's a complete protection system with specialized roles. Howard brings championship experience and intimidation. Cunningham adds martial arts, toughness, and perimeter shooting. Turner delivers elite rim protection and defensive versatility. And Bonner ties it all together with veteran leadership and basketball intelligence. This isn't just about keeping Clark upright, although that's certainly part of it. It's about creating an environment where she can flourish. Each defensive specialist also brings offensive skills that complement Clark's game perfectly. Howard can finish inside when Clark penetrates and dishes. Cunningham can punish double teams with her three-point shooting. Turner can clean up missed shots and finish lobs. Bonner can make smart decisions in clutch moments. The message from the Indiana Fever couldn't be any clearer. They've transformed from an up-and-coming team into a full-blown nightmare for opponents. The days of teams targeting Caitlin Clark without consequences, those are over. You know who the real winners are in all this? The fans. They'll finally get to see Clark's incredible talent on full display without all those cheap shots we saw last season. The league benefits too, protecting its brightest star while maintaining the physical nature that makes the WNBA great. And here's the million-dollar question: which team is brave enough to test this new protection squad first?